The Victorian house stood silent under the moonlight, its peeling wallpaper and sagging porch hiding decades of secrets. For Mark and Sarah, it was a dream home, a steal at twice the price. But as their renovations began, the house began to whisper its past. Behind a heavy bookshelf in the master bedroom, Mark's crowbar struck something hollow. Plaster crumbled, revealing a small door, its hinges stiff with age. The smell of dust and old wood rushed out as it creaked open. Sarah's flashlight trembled in her hand as the beam cut through the darkness. Inside, time had stopped. A child's nursery, perfectly preserved. A rocking chair sat motionless, its cushions still indented as if someone had just risen. A porcelain doll with cracked lips stared blankly from a crumbling crib. The walls were covered in drawings, crude stick figures with two wide smiles, all holding hands beneath a red-smeared sun. Then Sarah saw the newspaper. Yellowed and brittle, its headline screamed, "Family of 3 vanishes without trace." The date sent a chill down her spine, exactly 50 years ago tonight, . That's when they heard it. A giggle. Light as a breath, echoing from the walls. They spun, but the nursery was empty. The air grew thick, pressing against their skin like unseen hands. Back in their bedroom, Sarah's scream woke Mark. She stood frozen in front of the vanity, her reflection pale with terror. On the mirror, a tiny handprint glistened wetly in the moonlight. Outside, the rocking chair began to creak. The farmhouse groaned under the weight of its own history as Ethan dragged his boxes across the warped floorboards. A bachelor's fresh start, or so he thought, until his foot caught on the edge of the living room carpet. Something metallic clinked beneath the fibers. Peeling back the stained rug revealed a rusted iron hatch, its edges fused with decades of grime. The lock shattered under his hammer's blow, releasing a gust of air that smelled of damp earth and something sour. His flashlight beam cut through the blackness, illuminating a crude staircase descending into the earth. The chamber below was a nightmare preserved in rust. Manacles hung from the low ceiling, their chains ending in bracelets of flaked brown, blood or rust, he couldn't tell. A stained mattress curled like a dead tongue in the corner, its surface pocked with cigarette burns. But the walls. God, the walls. Hundreds of scratches formed desperate tallies, some so deep the wood showed bone-white beneath. At eye level, a single phrase had been carved with what might have been a fingernail, "Please remember me." The sheriff's face went gray when Ethan showed him the photos. "Son, you just found Harley Driscoll's playground. Took 6 kids in '83. Never found the bodies." The filed photo showed a grinning man with oil-slick eyes, last seen entering this very farmhouse. That night, Ethan jolted awake to 3 slow knocks vibrating through the floorboards. Knock. Knock. Knock, ***. Then the whisper, wet and close as lips against his ear. "You found me." The hatch creaked open downstairs. The grandfather clock in the foyer had stopped at 3:17 a.m., the exact time Grandma Ruth took her last breath. Claire ran her fingers through the dust coating the hallway mirror, her reflection warped by age-spotted glass. The lawyer said the house was hers now. The silence suggested otherwise. A draft from the basement made the cobwebs tremble. Something about the stone wall felt wrong, the mortar too fresh, the dimensions just slightly off. When Claire's fist accidentally punched through the brittle plaster, the smell of rosewater and mothballs poured out. Her phone's flashlight revealed a space no larger than a coffin, every surface papered with photographs. Hers. Dozens of them, from toddler to teen, all taken without her knowledge. School photos with the eyes carefully cut out. Birthday cakes with candles lit in empty rooms. A braid of honey blonde hair, her hair from childhood, nailed to a board like a trophy. The leather-bound journal fell open to a final entry. The cancer won't let me take you, my darling. But the house will keep you. I've made sure of it. The pages were dated the day before Claire's 18th birthday, the night Grandma Ruth died clutching a lock of her hair. Claire bolted upstairs, but the bedroom door swung shut behind her. The air grew thick with the scent of rosewater. In the vanity mirror's reflection, the bed's quilt dipped under invisible weight. Then wrinkled fingers curled over the footboard. The Forrester family should have questioned why the 19th-century mansion was sold for pennies. The moment their moving van pulled up, 12-year-old Jake noticed the brickwork near the fireplace. One stone sat slightly proud, its edges worn smooth by generations of desperate fingers. It took 3 tries to dislodge it. The vault exhaled a breath of cold, dry air as the hidden door swung inward. Inside, a single black candle burned without wax or flame, its wick impossibly lit after decades in darkness. The beam of Dad's flashlight trembled across a pedestal holding 3 objects. A dagger with a bone handle, etched with spiraling symbols that seemed to writhe under the light. A leather-bound book, its cover stitched with human hair. A clay jar sealed with wax, something liquid sloshing inside. Treasure. Jake grabbed the book before his parents could stop him. The pages fell open to an illustration, a family of 4 standing in their exact positions, their faces screaming. That night, the house began to change. Blood-red symbols bloomed across the nursery walls like mold. 2-year-old Lily babbled in guttural syllables, her blue eyes glazed black as she traced the dagger spirals in her mashed potatoes. When Mom found the local historian, the old man crossed himself. The Driscoll Brotherhood built this house as an anchor, he whispered. That vault wasn't to keep thieves out, it was to keep him fed. And you just opened the pantry. Back home, the black candle flickered to life in the vault. Upstairs, Lily giggled as the clay jar's seal cracked open. The sledgehammer tore through the drywall with a satisfying crunch, sending up clouds of plaster dust. Daniel wiped his brow, squinting at the unexpected darkness beyond. His contractor never mentioned a sealed room in the apartment's blueprints. The beam of his flashlight shattered into infinite reflections. Floor, ceiling, walls, every surface was mirrored, creating a disorienting labyrinth of identical Daniels stretching into nothingness. His breath quickened as he stepped inside, the temperature dropping 20 degrees instantly. Something felt off. Then he noticed. His reflection was still smiling from the doorway. Daniel spun, heart hammering. The mirror Daniel mimicked his shock perfectly, except for the one by the door, whose grin never faltered. He told himself it was a trick of the light as he fled, sealing the room behind him with trembling hands. That night, the nightmares came. He woke to his own face inches from his, breath fogging the bathroom mirror. When he stumbled back, his reflection remained leaning forward, its pupils swallowing the glass like black ink. The next morning, Mrs. Kowalski from 3B stopped him in the hall. "Your fight last night," she clucked her tongue. "Such yelling. Put it down. I won't let you." Daniel's blood turned to ice. He lived alone. Back in his apartment, the sound of breaking glass drew him to the sealed room. The mirrors were all shattered, from the inside. In the largest remaining fragment, his doppelganger stood behind him, rusted kitchen knife raised. The reflection winked.